Hi everyone. This is my independent piece. I use the prompt, "What are you thinking about now?" And for me, it's been about moving closer to my dad because I have an opportunity to have a house there and started a school. So, in the same time, I also was able to see my best friend there that I haven't seen in 5 years, and we reminisced on all the memories we have, everything like that. So I kind of wanted to make a little story or actually start a chapter book writing and incorporating our personalities into the characters because I don't want them to be like, oh, this is exactly what happened. But I incorporate our personalities, little memories we've been through and stuff like that, but it's more fiction than nonfiction. So here's chapter one. Um, I watched the trees pass by as I was riding with my granny to my dad's house. All I could think about was what if I see him? Blake. Casey, my granny said, knocking me out of my daydream. Yes, Granny? I asked her. I asked what you were planning on doing this summer. What are you thinking about? She answered. I was actually thinking about what I was going to do. I didn't want to lie to her, but I felt embarrassed thinking about Blake. I'm hoping I can finally learn how to kneeboard and I want to hang out with Ryder, I explained. Have y'all started dating yet? She asked. Granny, ew, no, he's like a brother to me and plus he's a couple months younger than me. Your grandfather was younger than me and we started out as friends, she said with a smile on her face as she remembered him. I miss my grandpa. He was the one that taught me how to draw and create things. He passed away from cancer when I was 9. Yes, I know, Granny, but you two were adults. Ryder and I are in middle school, I explained to her. Well, be careful while you're there and have fun, she replied. I will, Granny, I said as I leaned back in the seat and watched the trees pass by. I felt my eyes get heavy and soon I was sleeping. I was soon woken up by the rumble of gravel underneath the car, and I knew exactly where I was, the road that led to my dad's house. He lived on the border of a small town, and I loved it. Everyone that lived around him and my stepmom was like family, well, except Blake. His parents were friends with my dad and stepmom, and I was bound to see him sometime while I was here. When the car was in park, I stepped out, and before I knew it, I was being lifted up and twirled around. I knew who it was before I even saw his face. Ryder. Hey, Shortcake, how you been? Ryder asked as he sat me down. He knows I hate being called Shortcake, and yet he has been calling me that ever since he had a growth spurt, and it caused him to tower over me, and yet I'm older. Really, Ryder? I've only been here a minute and you're already picking on me, I replied. Oh, be quiet, Shortcake. You know you love it when I pick on you. We're best friends. What are best friends for? He commented while he threw his arm around my shoulder. Now let me help you with your bags, Princess, he said while he moved to the back of the car. That would be great, Ryder, my granny said as she got out of the car. Ryder pressed the button to open the hatch and lifted the trunk. When he saw what was inside, his eyes widened. Oh my goodness, Casey, do you really need all this stuff? He asked while staring at my stuff that I packed. Well, you know me, I've always prepared for anything, I said while shifting my eyes to the ground. More like you prepared to see Blake, he replied sarcastically. Ryder was the first one to know about my feelings for Blake because he knew me like the back of his hand. Ryder and I have had many talks about Blake, but it does help me that Ryder is also friends with Blake's and he told me if anything happens. We finally were able to get everything into the house and it was quiet since my dad and stepmom were both at work. I think that is it. I'm going to head to my house now, Casey. I don't want to drive in the dark, my granny explained. Thank you for coming to get me, I said while walking her to her car. I gave her a hug as she climbed into the car and then pulled out of the driveway. I turned around and started walking towards my house when I was met with a shirtless Ryder with his bathing suit on. You're ready? You already want to go swimming? I just got here, I said with a questioning look on my face. No time like the present, he yelled as he ran down the hill towards the water. I shook my head and walked inside to find my bathing suit. It only took me a couple minutes before I was running down the hill and jumping into the water. Took you long enough, Slowpoke Ryder said while he splashed me. And that is what I have so far. I want to turn it into a chapter book, and right now I plan on having Casey and Ryder like in middle school age, and she finds out Blake isn't who she thought he was, but I'm gonna jump to chapter 2 where it's a couple years down the road and they're all in high school and who knows. But yeah, I think this is going to be a children's friendly book because I want the kids to relate to the characters. Like, oh, you have that best friend, you have that first childhood crush, and then, oh, you grow up and, um, like, I don't know, stuff happens. But I think they would really like it. So, thank you.